Well, last week's video ended with something of a low-key cliffhanger, which was mainly that would Susie get her hair cut or not. This week has brought all kinds of crazy challenges and curveballs. So instead of the video that we had planned, which was either her follow-up about her hopes and dreams for 2026, or one of the other things in the works, Genny unfortunately got really sick, and that threw all the plans into a blender. And what has come out is what you see now. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you will get to see Susie's new haircut. In theory, it hasn't happened as I'm recording this, but that's what's on tap for about an hour and a half from right now. By the way, there are several different facial hair looks in this video because the first parts of this were all shot the previous 2 days when I didn't have time to take a shower, much less trim my beard or anything, but I was so sick of it that I went ahead and I did this. This is more of my summer vibe, you know, it keeps it a little cooler, and I look less like Santa Claus for no good reason. I'll be back more with other thoughts about what we're gonna do here with the channel, but for now, hope you enjoy this week in the life look at getting lemons and making lemonade. Well, in the things not working out the way you expect category, today I was expecting to, take Genny to school as normal and then, have my day at work and everything and, work on a YouTube video for you nice people. But instead, Geneva is going to a new doctor's office behind me. We actually got here 3 minutes early, despite leaving quite late. But according to the daycare director, she seems to have what we call in English hand, foot, mouth disease. It's not as bad as one of my friend's kids at the daycare. He showed me pictures of his son. He's out sick. He was there for other reasons yesterday. And oh my God, his poor little boy's face is just totally red. And he said it was down in his son's throat. And anyway, Genny doesn't seem to be as bad, but she's worse today than she was yesterday. So going to the doctor and then probably staying home. We're here for our appointment, and no one's answering. And the waiting room looks, there's lights in a couple of the offices, but the entryways here seems pretty non-existent. Well, the map had said that it was around the corner here instead of that door where I was standing, so I went to take a look, but I guess that's actually just where the office is within the building, but that's not how you enter. I was at the right place, but no doctor, no answer. Heading back, with my luck, they checked when I stepped away, and I rang the bell like 8 times or something. So let's see. Doctor's got one more chance to, impressing me's off the table at this point. Okay, well, I snuck in the door behind some delivery guys, and I'm actually outside the door, and it says ring and enter and leave baby strollers outside. But well, now we're standing in a dark hallway. That's the elevator button. Here's the door, and you can't see. Me and Geneva are sitting here in the pitch black. This doctor stood us up. Looks like I'm gonna be writing me a Google review. Hey baby, let me see how you look. Oh, poor little sweetie. Poor little sweetie. Well, we're heading to our pharmacist on the way. Yeah, she loves to see motorcycles, but doesn't like the way this one looks. Or this scooter, that is. Wow. I guess they left it here too long and people ripped it off for the engine, and there you go. So the adventure continues. Yeah, we're just gonna go by our absolute favorite pharmacy in the world. I never thought I'd have a favorite pharmacy, especially in a foreign country. Never thought that'd be a thing. As an American, I'm just used to whichever, CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid is close. Even when I lived for a long time in a particular apartment or neighborhood, you go to see a doctor, and if they give you a prescription, well, maybe it's something specific. Maybe you can see a specialist. And so you go to a pharmacy near where the doctor's office is and just get the thing filled. So they're working on the new Grand Paris Express metro line extension, which originally was supposed to be open for the Olympics, which, as you may recall, were 2 years ago. But they're working on it. They are working on it. It will be pretty cool for people who live down here. This is our old city of Champigny-sur-Marne. There's really cool, if you like construction stuff. But they have cool stuff on the website too, and there's a QR code. You can watch their video of how they build a subway, how they dig it out and everything. It's actually pretty cool. But this is their old neighborhood. Our PMI is back that way. If you could jump over that fence right now, it's down that street between this building and that scaffolding. And we're supposed to go there tomorrow. Yeah, you see that motorcycle? That one's not, that bike is not destroyed. But yeah, we used to walk home by going down this side street, our old place. Went down that side street and cut around through, do you recognize this? You recognize this? We used to live right here. Well, near here. We didn't live at this intersection. That wouldn't be very pleasant. Going to see our favorite pharmacist, and they will give us some quality free medical advice and probably tell us that all we should do is just, you know, what I already know to do, which is keep her clean, keep some good cream on her face, and give her Doliprane for fever and or pain. So that's all we can do. There may be a special cream that will heal her better. This has been a hell of a week. I can't really talk about the details for public disclosure, but there is a big bit of drama with a project I'm involved in that has been avoided from being a absolute 5-star shit show crisis. But it took the combined efforts of several people working at all hours of the day and night to avoid that. So, putting out fires, part of the producer's job. I didn't create this mess, but I had to help clean it up. And part of why I'm looking forward to just being a writer-director, primarily, eventually. Maybe before I'm 60, I'll be a full-time director. Full-time dad and full-time director. Pharmacies in France have those cool signs that look like a weed shop in LA. The green cross, note to Americans, especially Americans in places where marijuana is legalized for recreational enjoyment. The green cross in France means pharmacy, not weed shop, sadly. But if you ever find yourself in or near Champigny-sur-Marne, I'm gonna do a free plug. These people are awesome. This guy's my guy. Love this guy. So the marché here in Joinville-le-Pont. A little tricky. Guy's gotta move a whole pallet by himself the hard way. But yeah, they've got a really great market over here. It goes for several blocks. We are going to our very favorite bakery. Our very favorite boulangerie is past all of this. I don't know if I'll keep that in the video or not. That was a very French face we just passed. But yeah, fruits, vegetables, clothes, all kinds of stuff. Here. France's favorite bureaucracy, La Poste. I actually like the people at that one. I've had pretty good experiences. I've only had one negative experience at that La Poste. Frenchies definitely love to complain about La Poste, and I get it. The one negative experience was negative enough that almost never went back, but don't really have a choice. That's our post office. Oh, there's a puppy. It's a puppy. All right, so yeah, give you a little idea. Fresh foods. Got some fishes. In case you need some socks or, a bra or some scarves. Kind of got everything here. Or some new sweaters or jeans or pants. And the prices are pretty good. Check out those prices. And in case you're buying some clothes and you need some fruit, I guess they kind of put everybody where they can here. So that is our very favorite bakery right there, with our second favorite pharmacy. Actually, I'd say this is my third favorite pharmacy. It's my second favorite one here in the neighborhood. And it's for the ones that are close to the house. Our house is just a few blocks that way. But this pharmacy often has an incredibly long line. It's really popular and busy, but they just always have a ton of people there. So there's the one that's near the school that is that I like, second only to Pharmacy Susie, that my friend Philippe Susie owns. We've been tracking along with this fella with a cigarette for blocks now. I'm gonna assume it's not a conspiracy. Okay, I think we got the light here. Let's go. Vamos. Okay, Mom. Oh. Yeah, we're not going that way. Yeah, we went to see Mr. Susie. We don't have to go there. So there's usually a big ass line of people here too, and it looks like they're stacking up. So we gotta wait. But this is where we got the birthday cake. Yeah, always a huge line of people here. They actually have signs posted, not rudely, but kind of, they do have signs posted in the boulangerie about no photo or video, please. I guess for security reasons. It is a gorgeous place, and they have so many amazing looking treats. I have been thinking that I would ask the woman who's the owner sometime if maybe I could do a video in there specifically with her permission. They don't need the promotion, and I don't think I don't think our international channel is going to drive that many people to this specific neighborhood just to go to that boulangerie, but it would let me do a really nice Google review for them, which is one nice thing you can do to support a small business, is give them a good review online. And they have what the French call the McDo, which I have never eaten at. Since we lived here, I ate at one once or twice on previous trips out of necessity before I knew really any French, and was out of options once or twice. And so I think my working title for this video is Lemons to Lemonade. Taking the lemons that life gives you and turning them into something sweet. And in this case, the sweetness is going to come from the items from the bakery that Genny and I will enjoy while she's otherwise stuck at home and not feeling great. No time to shoot anything else, and so I just have to shoot as I go. Or this could become our outlier video that overperforms by 100 times our channel average. We'll see. Kind of doubt that, but I had a lot of comments from some of the regulars, some of the OG Chez Davis folks, saying that they really enjoy this more documentary style video. And, it's more fun to do, frankly, the desktop or office sort of explainer type videos. I mean, there's a necessity for those. We've covered the hell out of bureaucratic processes. There are tons of channels on YouTube that, have beaten those particular horses. I hate that metaphor. Horses are lovely. Why would you beat a horse? But there are plenty of other channels on YouTube that have really thoroughly covered, gee, what's this issue with my visa? Gee, what's the deal with healthcare? And we made our videos about that too, so you can check those out here on the channel if you haven't seen them and you're curious for our take. 2026, it's been real before, but life's getting even more real than ever. We're gonna keep it pretty real. Hope you enjoy. What you doing? You little egg gangster? Are you throwing up gang signs? Woo, 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 woo. Poor little sick girl. Yeah, we got some medicine for this little baby, but she hasn't had an appetite. Now she's got an appetite. I made her a nice boiled egg to go with her little piece of chicken sandwich she's not really eating, and her chips. Is that pretty good?
No.
It's not? That's why you're eating it all? That's why you're eating it all? She's throwing signs. Where you from? Who you with? Another day, another baseball hat. This is not the movie in question. This is a movie I helped develop that I was going to direct a short in Paris. They actually ended up, someone else directed something in New York, and I'm still involved as a producer. Just budget reasons only. We are heading to the bus stop to take Genny to the PMI. After all, we're not doing the vaccine today, but we have to do her 2-year check-in. So they still wanted us to come. I talked to them yesterday, told them she's got this hand, foot, mouth disease issue. They have this cool carousel behind us on this bus stop that we use a lot. And we've never had Genny on there, so looking forward to letting her take a couple of spins. She's interested in it, but she hasn't really like thrown a big, fit of like, I got to do that. She's like, yeah, that thing is there, but me and Mama wanna give her the experience, so we'll do that when she's feeling better. We're not going to school today. Yeah, hi. What's that, baby? What's that, baby? Another couple of shots. This is that Grand Paris Express metro that they're working on. This is coming together. They used to have scaffolding covering all of this. It's kind of cool. Can't really see too much, but they've had these ever since we've lived here. When we first moved to Champigny-sur-Marne, and we started going to this PMI I'm going to right now, they've had this scaffolding up. Ooh, what can we see through there? Oh, I don't know what that is exactly. But we go through this little gauntlet. I guess those little turnstiles are just to keep people from like tearing through here on motorcycles probably and running over pedestrians. But yeah, they've got like, I guess these are offices up here. In China, that would be like residential dorms where all the workers live. That may be what they have here too. On Chinese construction sites, they throw up a real kind of, apparently quite crappy temporary housing for the workers to live in on site. Because the workers come in from all kinds of places, like in Beijing. Most of the people doing the work, generally speaking, don't live in Beijing, and they come from like someplace because they don't make a ton of money and they can't really afford to live in Beijing, and they're typically coming from some other part of the country. So this is a PMI we go to, and if we still live in Champigny-sur-Marne, we go to try to get into the creche that they have here as well. She kind of looks like a villain out of a Guillermo del Toro movie, but. I want to bring her outside to ride her brand new bike that Mama and I got her for Christmas. And she wants to ride this little toy bike that we got. And she thinks we're going out on the street. We're not going out on the street. I'm wearing my fuzzy around the house slippers. And I can't tolerate chasing her with this bike, but this is not the video we plan to make. Hey baby, come on baby. Let's go in the yard. Come on back here. This is where the fun is. Making the best out of things when things don't go your way is something that we've gotten a lot of practice with since we made this move here to France. And honestly, the last 3 days have been incredibly hard, especially coming off of the vacation period, which actually was not a vacation for me. It was full-time daycare. And I had amazing bonding time with Genny. So I'm really grateful for that. Having said that, I am also incredibly behind on work and am managing a lot that has nothing to do with this channel and that you don't see or hear about. But some of it you can infer, some of it's related to my film projects, and then there's always administrative stuff. In this case, there are things going on in 3 countries that Susie and or I have to deal with. So it's a lot, it's the stuff of life. When I realized I was going to have to keep Geneva home for her sake and also not to possibly contaminate the staff or other kids while she was really in a contagious kind of broken out period, I realized that I've got 3 more days of 12 or 13 straight hours uninterrupted, no help of childcare, and she's awesome. It's changed my life in so many ways for the better to have her in it, and I wouldn't take that back or change anything. But it is a lot, and especially because I'm not, in my 20s or even 30s or even 40s. So, and I'm barely still in my 50s. But I realize that in terms of getting the work done that I have to do unrelated to being a dad, that it was going to have to wait, I had to do a mental reframing exercise for myself that made me focus on the opportunity to spend the time with Genny versus focusing on all the things that I couldn't get done or would have to stay up extra late and do at night and then not really get much sleep at all. And she's woken up 2 hours or more earlier than my alarm, which is already really early. Each of the last 3 mornings, she's gotten up, she's woken up. The first night was because she was in real bad pain, and so felt horrible for that. The second night, not pain, just, I guess she just wasn't feeling good. She was mentally maybe troubled. So I had to comfort her and got her back to sleep eventually, but it took, it took an hour and a half or so to do that. And then last night / this morning, my wife had fallen asleep in Genny's room with her when she got the baby to sleep. And when Susie's alarm went off, which is an hour earlier than mine, it woke Genny up too. So Susie and Genny both got up at 6 a.m. where I was normally going to get up around, on a normal day, I'd get up at 7. Today we were going to get up around 8 or 9 because we're not going to daycare. I was going to let Genny sleep as long as she could. And if she hadn't woken up with Susie's alarm, she probably would have slept until 9 a.m. But instead, she woke up at 6 and was screaming and crying. And at a certain point, Susie came and I heard her. It woke me up, and I was still laying in the bed in our bedroom. And Susie, came and said, "I need you to, I have to take a shower and go to work." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And actually, I think I was pretty cranky about it. So I mentioned I was going to work on grace and patience. I need to do that, even when I'm woken up 3 hours earlier than expected by a screaming baby and my wife tapping me on the shoulder. My wife's doing that because she has no choice. She needs to do it. But when I'm half asleep and my sleepy time gummy is in full effect and I'm in a sleep coma, it's hard to have grace and patience when I'm completely disoriented. But anyway, that's a me thing. You are the world's cutest biker. You're the world's cutest biker. Here, let's go this way. Go right this way. I'm not going outside. The world's cutest biker is upset that we're not going out on the street with this toy bike, which does not roll well on the street, as I have discovered the hard way. I thought she would enjoy playing in the backyard, but apparently she has other ideas. World's cutest biker. Hi. Say hi to the internet. All right. Yeah, that's Daddy's office down there. That's where Daddy would normally be working right now. Daddy would normally be down there making a video for the people. You want to go down your slide? You do? All right, well, you're going to get your pants wet, but I guess I can wash your pants. So one thing about me is that I am probably almost borderline pathological about cleanliness, and I don't like, dealing with bodily fluids and such. Yeah, it's a little damp. I'm going to get a tissue and wipe it out, but she wants to play on the slide. And you know what? I've washed these clothes before, and I'll wash them again. Having a baby will get you over your dislike of cleaning up bodily fluids. Hopefully pretty quickly, or else it'll probably drive you totally insane. Fortunately, I've been able to make my peace with that, so let's do it. Vamos. She's learning English, French, and Chinese, and a tiny bit of Spanish. But I can't help myself in saying. I still say vamos all the time. You ready? Oh, here you go. Ready? Oh, go. Ready? Okay. So lift your boots up. Ready? Ready? You gotta say, wow! Good job. Good job, Genny. Oh, what do you see, baby? You see a spider? Is that a spider? Okay. You can look at him. Don't touch him though. He won't bother you if you don't bother him. You can. Well, he lives out here. That'd be like him coming inside and telling us to leave. He can live right there. Yeah, that's where he lives. He lives over there. That's his little house. Okay. Wow, your technique is really is something. That's good. I don't know why they don't do that in the NBA. All right, you want me to do it? And my aim sucks. There we go. Hey, you want to do it? Yeah. Oh. playing soccer now. Ooh, excuse me, football. Okay, hold on. Progress. We moved to one of the 2 gifts we got her for Christmas. Wow. And her birthday. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Yes, ma'am. Slippery. Slalom course. Hold on. Yeah, look at that. So yeah, as it turns out, despite challenges, I'm grateful for the witness. The artist at work. Yeah, why don't you draw on this side? That's a bath toy. Here, let me show you how this works. Okay, so you take this little thing. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, you take this thing, and then he swims. He goes, whoa. He goes, wow, in your bathtub. Yeah. Yeah, you want to do it? You want to do it? You want to wind it up? Hey, Jenny, look at me. Yeah, as sad and crusty as her little face is, this is 80% improved just from yesterday. I've been asking myself this question and talking about it a lot with Susie about what do we do with our channel here moving forward, because we've already covered a lot of the basics of moving to France, getting situated, and created this free GPT tool for people to move to France or, deal with their French administrative stuff. And there's so many channels that do a great job of this kind of material, and they're really, really focused on continuing to update people about visa changes, things like that. Channels like Baguette Bound specifically. And we don't want to just try to remake our version of the same content. And so we're not going to do that. When we have a specific situation that we have dealt with, that we feel like we have something unique maybe to add to the conversation, we'll do it. But we don't want to be a Me Too channel. We never set out to copy anybody. When we went into this, the goal was really to be more of a documentary style channel about our experience and our kind of unique perspectives on things, because there are people who are more like us than some of the other people on the other channels. Although we deal with a lot of the same things, we all have different situations. I would really like to be more focused on interviews, but what type of interviews? There are only so many interviews with people who've, moved here to retire. How did you get your house or apartment? How did you get your visa? That's all useful and interesting, especially if you need to do that and you haven't done it before. But we have covered it. We'll continue to cover it from time to time, and lots of other channels cover it. So what do we do that's different? Besides interviewing other expats and immigrants and such, I really want to talk to a bunch of French people. I really enjoyed the conversation with Johnny Benoit, and I would like to talk more about social and cultural sorts of issues. So I'm going to see if I can set up some interviews along those lines and build out at least a part of our channel that is focused on those sorts of offerings. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that, if you'd be interested in that. And, I'm going to work on it. We'll see what I can put together and if we can get some of that out here for you to judge based on evidence and not just the theory. Right? All right, Susie, so today is actually the big day. Take 2. What is the big day?
I finally gonna get my hair cut. This gonna be the first my French haircut.
Wow. And little Genny's looking a lot better. Little Genny's looking a lot better and also cute. Okay, let's go. Vamos. That's a lot of hair. Ow. So the big reveal. Look at this girl with her nice French haircut.
Yeah,
what
very happy.
What do you think?
Happy.
Wow.
Look.
That is crazy. Looks awesome, baby. You like it?
Yes.
All right.